this light's, I'm going to move this like here. How's that? That's better. Yeah, because that light was right in my face.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. Okay, so I've been working on different women in history that like are heroes, and they don't get like, you know, a lot of attention, like Cesar Chavez, but Dolores Huerta, nobody knows her. I mean, a lot of people do, but not like him. They don't have holidays, and there's names on streets and stuff. Anyway, here's a woman that is in history, and some of you probably don't know who she is, but she was a Cubana, and I read like a small biography that said, now why would a middle-class girl do this? Because like when you think of Che, he was a doctor, you know, but they don't say, why did he do that? Anyway, they ask about her, so I asked that question, and this is basically what she said, or what came out when I wrote it. And this is called, this is called Death of a Guerrilla Fighter, or a guerrilla fighter. I was ambushed on the banks of Rio Grande in the Bolivian jungle in August of '67, shot down by exploding metal, hit in the head, chest, and neck by a successive round of gunfire from M2s. Shattered by the ferocious velocity of light and sound, I fell the length of my body, headlong into the fast-moving currents, spewing ragged streams of red. My blood thinned into the dark green water. 7 days later, my body was found floating downstream, taken to Valle Grande, given a Christian burial. Strange end for a Marxist, wouldn't you say? 2 years before, I had changed my name to work as a covert agent, and I was trained by the best. Yeah, the best. In La Paz, I married a man just to obtain a passport. I lived amongst the bourgeoisie, the intellectuals. I took lovers solely for the sake of gaining classified information. By day, I was Laura Gutierrez. By night, I was code name Tanya, contacting my source in the underground whenever possible. By April of '67, I joined the rear guard of Che's guerrillas, armed with an M1. We were encamped in the Nancahuasu jungle, hoping to gain popular support amongst the campesinos. Some say a tragic and premature strategy by Guevara, for by July, we were eating rodents and insects along with our dwindling rations, stalked by right-wing government forces, CIA reinforcements. Day and night, U.S. helicopters circled over our heads. I was suffering from edema, malaria, insomnia, and night plagued by violent nightmares. And we were lost because we got cut off from our vanguard. Somewhere in the jungle, we were hiding. We were filthy with caked mud, bloody from hundreds of insects, bites. Yeah, that's what was happening. I felt that the men were beginning to strike out against me, blaming me for holding them back. I felt the despair of their defeat, turning to hatred against me. 2 days before the ambush, two men danced naked around a fire, making obscene gestures at me. I ran into the jungle and fell into a feverish, insane torpor, and I saw a band of black angels come squalling out of the mouth of a blood sky, an avenging dance of death. I must have passed out. In the morning, I woke up and I dragged myself back to the column, heading towards the river, straggling in at the rear. We were desperate to find Guevara, who had disappeared with his column somewhere in the jungle. We thought, you know, if we could see him again, sure we would be saved. But we never saw him again. Like the rest of us, he was shot into the canon of history, into posterity, a perfect martyr. We never saw him alive again. We never saw each other alive again. You know, but it wasn't because of Che or because of people that I joined the guerrillas, but because I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight for the people's revolution. I wanted to fight for freedom, and I wanted to fight for justice. I dreamed of one day leading troops myself, encamped in the highland jungles amongst the camaraderie of my troops. You know what? I was born to it. I was called. I did. I fell into the river. I was buried in the earth. And I would do it again because I want to fight for our freedom and for justice. Now I quit, so I gotta get this back in here again.